places of the prairie. When Laura Ingalls Wilder was still living and was around, the people flocked from all around to settle in this huge prairie to make a new beginning. And so one family that came had two children, a little girl and a baby boy. And the little girl was known in her town as the most selfless person ever. If somebody didn't have enough, she gave them theirs, and if they didn't have water, she gave them her cup of water. And so they settled in the prairie and built their cabin, and everything was doing well until this huge drought just hit the prairie. The grasses turned brown, and the sky turned a dusty gray, and the sun was a dull yellow. And so one day the mama said, "Honey, could you go get some water? I'm awfully thirsty." She said, "Oh, sure." So she grabbed her dipper and she walked out. And when she got to the edge of the prairie, she came to a dry, cracked old well. And she lowered her bucket down, and she filled it, and then she lowered it, and then she pulled it back up, and she heaved it over the side, and put her dipper in, and walked right back over to her house. On the way, she came upon a wild dog who was just so thirsty, he didn't know what to do with himself. And so she said, "I can't pass you by without at least giving you some water." So she reached in with her dipper and gave him some water, and he lapped it up, and he just got so energetic, and he was frisky, and he lifted his paw and thanks, and then trotted away. And so she came to her house, and she opened the door, and she saw her little baby brother just sprawled on the floor like, so thirsty. And so her mama said, "Can you please give your baby brother some water? He needs it more than I do." She said, "Oh, sure." So she reached into her bucket with the dipper and gave it to the baby, and he took it in his tiny little hands and he gulped it all up. And he just got so energetic, he started crawling around the house like nobody's business. And so she gave some more, and then she dipped into the bucket with her dipper and then gave it to her mama. And she drank it all up, and then she had the girl drink some water for herself. And as she was raising it to her lips, there came a knock at the door. She said, "Who can that be?" So she opened it, and it was this Indian chief. He had paint stripes on his cheeks, and he had this huge headdress of feathers in the lap, and shells and beads at his neck. But the old warrior look in his eye was gone because he was so darn thirsty. He said, "My tribe has run out of water, and I've come to get some. Would you maybe spare a little?" And she said, "Oh, sure." So she reached into her bucket. There wasn't a lot left, and she gave it to the chief. He smiled and then walked outside. She said, "What in tarnation is he doing that for?" So she followed him outside, and she saw that he was pouring the water into the very middle of the prairie. She was about to ask him why he was doing that when suddenly this huge geyser of water sprung up out of the ground. The grass turned green again, and the sky was blue, and the sun was a bright golden yellow. And all the animals flocked from all around, ate the green grass, and drank the nice clean water. And she was looking at all this, and she looked at next to her, and the Indian was gone. She said, "Oh well." And then she went back inside the house. But then later on that day, she was wondering where her dipper was, and she searched and searched and searched, but it was gone. And she was just about to give up when her mama said, "Come look out here, darling. It's beautiful." So she picked herself up and went outside, and the sky was just ablaze with stars. As she was looking at all the stars, in the corner of her eye, she saw a new constellation, and she smiled because up there it was her dipper. And the Indian chief, he is known to most Indians as a great spirit. And to reward her for her kindness, he put it up there in the sky as her reward, and also to show people that kindness always gets its own reward. Thank you.